Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Fayetteville and North Carolina. Thank you very much. Tomorrow we are going to win this state, and we are going to win 4 more years in our great White House. With your vote, we will continue to cut your taxes, cut regulations, support our great police, support our fantastic military, care for our veterans, protect your Second Amendment, defend religious liberty, and ensure more products are proudly stamped with that wonderful phrase, made in the USA. Next year will be the greatest economic year in the history of our country. Under my leadership, our economy is now growing at the fastest rate ever recorded, 33.1%, just announced last week. We created a record 11.4 million jobs in the last 5 months. It's a number that we never even thought possible. Nobody did. Nobody thought it was possible. And we're going to now even do better than that. It's going very rapidly. While foreign nations are in a free fall, you see what's going on with so many nations in Europe, unfortunately. I say that with sadness. We are creating an economic powerhouse unrivaled anywhere in the world. A recent Gallup poll found that 56% of Americans say they are better off today than they were 4 years ago under Obama and Biden. You got to remember that. You got to remember that kind of thing. They didn't do a good job. In fact, if they did, I wouldn't have run. If they did, I wouldn't be here right now. They did a bad job. And Obama, he went out yesterday with Biden. They got like 14 people. They didn't have too many. They didn't have too good a crowd. And we have 5 of these today, 5. We have some big ones. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. And I love you too, and I appreciate that. We appreciate it. I was thinking coming in, because I watch these fake polls, everyone, no matter if we're up by 10, if we know we're going to win easily, he's down by 1 point. He's down by 1. I just watched this fake stuff, and I was saying to myself, you know, we've been under a phony, fake, hoax investigation for 3 years. Nothing but bad and really corrupt publicity from these people. And I say, I wonder what the difference would have been had it been legit, right? Had it been legit. And it turned out to be just the opposite. They were the ones that committed the crimes, not us. But I wonder what it would have been. I probably would have been a little bit easier, but you know, the good news, we're going to win anyway. We're going to shove it. We're going to win anyway. I wonder what it would have been. I wonder what it would have been if all of the nonsense wasn't brought up. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Looking tremendous in Florida, so of course they don't mention that. You know, it's Florida. We are looking good. We're really looking good all over. In the real polls, not the Fox polls. Those Fox polls. There's somebody in Fox doesn't like me very much, I can tell you. They are the phoniest polls, and they were almost as bad 4 years ago. Actually, they were worse. But you get some of these pollsters, they work magic. And the amazing thing is, and they hang on to their jobs. They do horribly. Look at what they did last. I had 9 states, and I had to win them all. And they said I was going to lose all 9. This is 4 years ago. I was going to lose all 9. It was going to be a very short evening for Donald Trump. And the polls said decisively I was going to lose all 9. And that was the day before. And I won all 9. I won them all. Or I wouldn't be here right now. No, I won all 9. It said we're going to lose all 9. And it was quite depressing as I turned on the television. Let's see how we did. He won Florida. He won South Carolina. And I'm saying, what? Oh, but thank you. And then they said they're getting rid of the guy like at Fox. I heard they were getting rid of that pollster, and they kept him. And they have others they kept. And you wonder what kind of a business that is. You wonder what kind. We have a case where In Wisconsin, we're one up. And I left there a couple of days ago. We had a rally, you wouldn't believe it, packed, just like last night, like here, but like last night. This was a section, I wanted to come. This is considered a small, beautiful, cute, little, wonderful section. And they asked me, and I said, I want to be there. No, and every vote counts. It's very important. We had something last night in Miami. You would not have believed it. I don't know who saw it on television. I don't know. But you look at some of these results in Wisconsin. So, whether I'm up one or down one, it's right in that thing. I think we're going to win Wisconsin because we have a lot of people that say, we don't want to talk to you, and then they go vote for Trump, right? The hidden voter or whatever they call them. Somebody said they're the shy voters. My people are not shy. They're not shy. But in Wisconsin, so they said, ABC News, which is, in my opinion, corrupt, but they're all corrupt. ABC News, Washington Post, which is basically a lobbyist, as far as I'm concerned, for Amazon. It's just a lobbyist. So they didn't say, like, he's 2 down, 3 down, 4 down, a fake poll. They said Trump is 17 points down in Wisconsin. Now, the real number, I could lose it, I could win it. I think it's, I don't know how I did a lot of good things for Wisconsin, but, let's say it's even. And I call up a great pollster, John. I say, John, let me ask you a question. I think we're one up in Wisconsin, but ABC, Washington Post, they did the same thing 4 years ago, if you remember, very close to the election. They said we're down 12. And then we won, right? But we were down 12. And it's disheartening. It's called suppression. What it does is it suppresses people. They say, well, listen, we love the president, but if he can't win. So ABC, but they did it 4 years ago, and we complained bitterly with a very good lawyer. I had very good lawyers in those days. We complained very bitterly, and they changed it right before the election. I think it was 1, right? We're down 1. They took it from 12 to 1 in like about 15 seconds. And I realized, I said, this is a phony business. But now they come down and it says 17 down in Wisconsin, 17. So I called John McLaughlin. He's like the dean. He's a great guy. And he's been very good with me. He said we were going to win 4 years ago. He said we're going to win easily this one. He's probably the biggest and the best. I said, John, let me ask you a question. ABC Washington Post came out with a poll. It said I was 17 down. I'm not 17 down. I might be 1 down, or I might be 2 up, but I'm not 17 down. What's going on? Why don't they make it at least, because they have to live after that. They have to do other events and why don't they make it 3 or 4 or 2 or 5 or something, right? He said they can't do that because they want you to lose. And if you're 2 or 3 or 4, everyone's going to go vote. They want to make sure that your people don't vote. And when you're 17 down, people say, I just can't waste my time. I'm not going to stand on line. And I said, isn't that sick? And he said he knows some of the people, and they're very smart. They're very brilliant. They're smart people. He said, but if they made it 5 down or 4 down or 6 down even, so they make it something that's so bad, 17 down. I said, isn't that a shame? I want to tell that story. Do you mind? He said, I don't care. That's the way it is. So it's crooked stuff. The Fox polls are horrible. Every time I have a Fox poll, it's horrible. I like some of the things on Fox. Certainly Sean and Laura. And Tucker's been great lately. And Fox and Friends in the morning is great, right? We go through them. We have some, I find Harris to be great. Harris Faulkner to be really good. She's been very good over a period of time. The great Lou Dobbs, he's been fantastic, right? Right? Janine, how do you like Janine, right? And, look, we have some great people that support us. Jesse has been great. Pete Hegseth has been great. And I don't want to mention, there are a lot of people. Look, we have a lot, but it's 90% negative, everything, everything. It's but so think of that. So I said 17, and he gave me an answer. I just thought it was so incredible. I said, I got to tell that answer. So I hope I haven't bored you, but I thought it was interesting. I thought it was interesting. To me, it was interesting. And I have like 5 of these to do today, so let's get going. And I appreciate you being here. We had some monsters last night. We had some little rough weather. It wasn't like this. We had in Michigan. We had a slightly cold day with the wind blowing at 40 miles an hour in my face. And you're lucky you have a president that doesn't need a teleprompter. I was able to. Good memory. I would have been in big trouble. There was no way you could hold paper. There was no way you could do it. You would just, and my guy set it up where the wind was right smack in my face. And I was looking at that flag from the plane. I said, oh no, here we go again. But actually, the flag must be a very high quality silk because it's not that windy. But yesterday it was not, that was not an easy day. We had some very cold stops. If Biden and Harris, Kamala, you want her? You want her as your first woman president? I don't think so. And the radical left gain power. They will collapse our economy and send our nation into a depression. Biden will raise your taxes $4 trillion, massively increase your regulations, close down your factories, send your jobs overseas. That's what he's been doing all his life. Him and his group. Destroy the suburbs, dissolve your borders, terminate religious liberty, outlaw private health insurance. 180 million people have great health insurance. Shred your Second Amendment, confiscate your guns, and indoctrinate your children with anti-American lies. Biden has vowed to abolish the American oil and natural gas industries and ban fracking. He said it for a year and a half. He said it. Then all of a sudden he goes to Pennsylvania. No, I never said that. And the fake news doesn't do anything about it. Biden's energy ban will send every state into crushing poverty, from North Carolina to Michigan to Pennsylvania. As long as I'm president, we will remain the #1 producer of oil and natural gas on Earth. And we will remain energy independent. Sleepy Joe Biden is a globalist who spent 47 years outsourcing your jobs, opening your borders, and sacrificing American blood and treasure in endless foreign wars in countries that most of you have never even heard of. He was a cheerleader for NAFTA, and they're all coming home. Don't worry about it. I said it. He was a cheerleader for NAFTA and China's entry into the World Trade Organization. North Carolina lost 50% of all manufacturing jobs after those Biden betrayals. And now he says, oh, he's trying to follow my policy. He's trying to follow my policy. He's not going to do my policy. He's been doing this for 47 years plus, and for 8 years as vice president, which was only 3.5 years ago. Joe Biden is a corrupt politician who raked in millions from China while giving them your jobs. He's a corrupt politician. You see it. Now they say the laptop, Schiff, watermelon head, Schiff. That laptop was produced by Russia. Here we go again. Russia. Here we go again. Can you imagine what they must think of it? These people are crazy. No, it was produced by, where's Hunter? That's right. It was produced by Hunter. These guys are really, think of it, now Schiff knows, he's psycho in many ways, but he knows. It's a total con game. I had to put up with it for 3 years, and it affects it. You know, when you see nothing but negative television every night, and then they find totally no collusion after wasting $48 million, 18 people, think of it. And then it's no collusion, but then you have to run. But you've had 3 years of horrible publicity. And they did it. I mean, they did it. They were the criminals. Hillary was a criminal. She deleted her emails. People go to jail for that. These are criminals. These are criminals. And say it any way you want to do it. But we took the brunt that we caught him spying on my campaign and trying to overthrow a duly elected president of the United States. So I go, and that was before I even knew. I mean, that was while I was while I was running. I didn't even know. I'd hear these things, sir. This is before I got elected. Guys would come up to me every once in a while. Sir, do you have anything to do with Russia? I said, no. Why do you ask? Oh, I was just curious. Because it was like this thing floating around. Then they come up again. Sir, are you sure you don't have anything to do with Russia? I said, I have nothing to do with Russia. What the hell are you talking? And you know, you hear it 4 or 5 times. Then you get into office and they come up with this scheme and this plot. It was a plot to overthrow the government of the United States. And then we have people that just don't act fast. I mean, it's just unbelievable. We have so much information. We have so much. We have the whole thing. And Obama was involved. And Biden was involved. They were involved, but it's let's see what happens. People should move more quickly. In 2016, North Carolina voted to fire this corrupt political establishment, and you elected an outsider as president who is finally putting America first. And if I don't sound like a typical Washington politician, it's because I'm not a politician. If I don't always play by the rules of the Washington establishment, it's because I was elected to fight for you, and I fight harder than any president has ever fought for his people. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Get out and vote. That's all I ask. Just take a little time and vote. Vote. We got to win this state. I think we win this state. We win Pennsylvania. We're going to win Florida. We win Pennsylvania, and we're going to win the whole thing. We're going to win the whole thing. And we'll send them a signal like they've never seen before. This has not happened to them. Big tech is so powerful. You can't beat big tech, they're saying this. And I see it on Twitter. Trend, right? It's not trending. They put the most boring thing. Only if it was anything bad about me. #1 in the world on trend, right? Boring stuff. I mean, like stuff, as opposed to affairs, scandals. They don't even put that stuff up. It's always Trump, 2, 3, 4, 5 items. It's a fix. It's a fix. This is a smart guy. We have his name. Everybody knows who he is. And I'm not talking about the primary. I'm talking about people that work. They take stuff out of a hat. Let's see, this is bad about Trump. Let's make it worse. Okay, we'll make it worse. Okay, #1 trend in the whole world. No, that's not stuff that trends, but these are phony guys. They fix the elections. And you know what? They should be subject to campaign violations because they're an arm of the Democrat National Committee. They work together. They work on messaging together. The Democrats, the fake news media, they're the worst. They're fake people. And if I've done one thing, it's to expose the dishonesty in the media. And not everybody, but a vast majority. Not everybody. Look at this. We catch Hunter and Joe cheating. We catch them stealing millions of dollars. They refuse to write a story. Could you imagine if I got $3.5 million from the mayor of Moscow's wife? Could you imagine? Somebody gave me $3.5 million. Somebody gave me $20. They impeached me because I made a perfect phone call to the head of Ukraine. I never met the gentleman. Congratulations on your win. If you see anything corrupt, please call the Attorney General of the United States. And we have a corruption agreement with them because it's been a very corrupt country. I actually have an obligation. Now, of course, they impeached before they found out, before I decided to release the phone call. Isn't it lucky that I had that call transcribed? Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Now they couldn't do it. They didn't know what to do. Crazy Nancy said, this isn't impeachable. She said, you're right. They said, you're right. But let's go through with it anyway. Maybe we'll get lucky. This is because she didn't know about the call. When she read the call, she said, he didn't do anything wrong. How did you get me into this? You shifty shift. How did you do it? Jerry Nadler. I've been fighting this guy for 25 years on the east side of Manhattan, the west side of Manhattan. Jerry Nadler, he's a beauty, isn't he? How did you get me into this? Well, let's just keep going forward. It's a disgrace. And we won. I will say this for the Republicans. 197 or 197 to nothing we won. And in the Senate, 52 and a half to 1/2. We lost a half a vote. I wonder who that could have been. But Sleepy Joe Biden is bought and paid for by China. He's got, hey, they gave the son $1.5 billion to manage. That means he's going to make millions of dollars a year. He doesn't know anything about investment. Didn't know anything at all about energy. He got $183,000 a month on energy. Think of that. Think of that. $183,000. I called a friend of mine on Wall Street. Is this a normal fee? He said, no, maybe the most abnormal fee I've ever seen in my whole life. I've been doing this for 25 years. He's the biggest guy. But they're bought and paid for. They got the money, and then they were going for the big one in China. They wrote a letter to a very big, powerful man within the Communist Party. And where's Hunter asked for $10 million a year as he was going to recommend, he was going to talk. You're going to see, here's a guy didn't have a job, got thrown out of the Navy. He got thrown out of the Navy. He didn't have a job. Biden becomes vice president. And this kid is like a vacuum cleaner going all over the world, following his father, picking up the scraps. No, he's following his dad, picking up scraps. And then you find the note where the big man gets 10%. The big man's Joe Biden. Huh? The big man gets 10. Then in one case, they said 50%, right? That's more likely. Because he wouldn't do it for 10. He'd want, because these people are all hangers-on, losers. But that's the story. And it's in a laptop. And now they say the laptop was made by Russia, therefore it has no credibility. Can you believe this, all right? And so the news, there's not, outside of the New York Post, which really I hold in high esteem, they're like a hero paper. And they endorsed me. I got a nice endorsement from, did you see, from Pennsylvania yesterday, right? Pittsburgh Gazette. That was nice. Once I got through that first paragraph, it was phenomenal, actually. They said, we don't love his personality. We don't love his tough demeanor. But I have to be tough. Look, I've been under investigation from before I ever became president. I have to be tough. If I was soft, I wouldn't be here right now. And they don't want to say that. I was under a fake investigation by a lot of fake people. Bob Mueller and his crew. The whole thing was a fake scam that should have never been started, and they knew the answer on the first day. But it took them 2.5 years to put it down, no collusion. But they knew the answer the first day. So I was under investigation for the first 2.5 years, right? Think of that. And then they say he's tough, but I'll take it anyway. I'll take their endorsement anyway. Because once you get over the first paragraph or two, it says all of the things we've done, which are incredible, And now we'll have a chance to do it without the cloud, because I had a cloud hanging over my head, whether we like it or not. And then they say he was tough. He fought too hard. He was somewhat crude. He was very, very nasty. His Twitter. Now, you know what? If I didn't have social media, I wouldn't be here. It was the only way I could defend myself. So it's one of those things. But I just wonder. I was thinking, I asked the people on the way up. We have great people, such loyal, great people, including a man that comes from an area not too far from here. He's a good friend of these women who've been here. This is number 64 time for these incredible, beautiful, I think rich women, and their husbands are in here someplace. But they had their husbands. They were at the one last night. That was a big deal, wasn't it? But this is number 64, I would say, right? 65. Oh, there's two more. They come from North Carolina, but we have Mark Meadows comes from North Carolina. And he has been fantastic. He's done a great job. Where is he? He's probably working. You know, he's bum with a phone. He's got two phones instead of one. And he's not going to break it up with a hammer like Hillary did. He's going to throw it away. He'll come down, watch. He's done a fantastic job. And he loves this state. He loves North Carolina. And I specifically said, I want somebody from North Carolina and give me Meadows. Now, I knew 3 years ago, I said, we got to get Meadows in here. Big tech, big media, big donors, and powerful special interests are desperate for Sleepy Joe to win. They want him to win. I'll tell you who wants him to win, China. They will own our country. Because they own him, they control him, and they know he will always be there to do their bidding. He'll always be there. He's a corrupt politician. I don't care. I'll say, and I say it, everybody knows it's true. Can you imagine? Big tech refuses to put anything in. They took the New York Post down for 2 weeks because they won't let anyone write. If you put out a little tweet and say that Biden is corrupt, they will knock out your whole account. Nobody's ever seen anything like this. And you notice, it is, outside of what I say, it is indeed fading away. Because you can't have a scandal if nobody writes about it. So we have the fake news not writing about it, and you have the big tech not writing. So how can you have a scandal? Nobody's talking about it. Nobody's allowed to talk. It's called suppression. We don't have freedom of the press. We probably haven't had it for a long time. But we don't have, they say freedom of the press, the American way. We have suppression by the press. That's what it is. What beautiful words. I should have done the speech this way. It would have been much more interesting. No, but seriously, we have suppression by the press. This is not freedom. It really is. It's the exact opposite of freedom of the press, if you think about it. Every corrupt force in American life that is responsible for cruel betrayals that hurt our family and all of the people that we love, they're supported by Biden and they donate to Biden. I could have been a much bigger fundraiser than him, but I didn't want to call every head of a Wall Street firm, every head of the oil companies that we've made rich anyway. I did a great job. We're energy independent. That's not so bad. First time. The failed establishment that started the disastrous foreign wars, they support Sleepy Joe Biden because they get anything they want. And he took in $300 million last month. You think he made any deals? No, I don't think so. The career politicians that offshored your industries and decimated your factories, they support Sleepy Joe. The open borders lobbyists that killed our fellow citizens with illegal drugs, gangs, and crimes. The people that wanted to stop the wall, even though it knew it works. It's almost finished, by the way. Be finished very soon. But the people that wanted to stop it, even though they knew full well it worked. Remember, they said, no, we don't want a wall. Walls are obsolete. We want drones. Drones, okay, good. Drones flying to watch the people pour into our country. They want drones. Let's have drones. The far-left Democrats that ruined our public schools, depleted our inner cities, defunded our police, and demeaned your sacred faith and values, they support Sleepy Joe Biden. You can't even go to your churches. You can't even go to your church. And your governor of North Carolina, you got to open up your state. You got to get your governor. I hope you're going to vote for Dan, who's good. But you got to get your state open. Don't worry about it. On November 4th, they'll announce your state is opening. On November 4th, North Carolina will be opened on November 4th. Right after the election. Because they want us to look bad. They don't care about people. They want us to look bad. They want to try and steal an election. The anti-American radicals defaming our noble history, our heritage, our heroes, they support Sleepy Joe. Antifa and the rioters and looters and Marxists and left-wing extremists, they all support Joe Biden. They always like to blame it on the right. You ever notice? These were right-wing, and it's very rare. It's rare. You get bad on every side, but they always like to blame the right. It always starts off with the right, the right. This election comes down to a simple choice. Do you want to be ruled by the arrogant, corrupt, ruthless, and selfless political class? Or do you want to be governed by the American people themselves? Do you want to be represented by a career politician who hates you, or by an outsider who will defend you like you have never been defended before? I didn't need this job. I had a very nice life, but I love what we're doing for our country. Nobody's done so much. Nobody, no administration, and you know, I never even had a challenge on this from the fake news. You know, normally if you say something slightly off, they make a big deal. No administration, president, has done more in the first 3.5 years than we have. Our military we rebuilt, our tax cuts, our regulation cuts, Space Force, just a thing like Space Force. I never even talked about Space Force, right, during the campaign. I did more than I actually talked about during the campaign. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. I thought this was a small, little, cute area. You know, this was a small, little, cute area. When I came in, I'm watching Fox, and a gentleman, an anchor, said, they have a small crowd of about 2,000, 2,500. No, I knew. You know, it's an incredible thing. This is a lot more than that. This is a lot of people. This is a lot more than we. But I wanted to be here because it's an important thing. I mean, my granddaughter is named Carolina. Do you know that? And we'll give South Carolina some credit, too. You know, they've been with us. Is that okay? I want to get your permission. No, we'll give South Carolina. South Carolina is great. They're great people, too. A vote for Biden is a vote to hand the keys to government over to people who despise you and who want to rob your children of their American dream. That's what they're doing. A vote for Biden is a vote to give control of government over to the globalists, communists, socialists, the wealthy, liberal hypocrites who want to silence, censor, cancel, and punish you. If you want your children to be safe, and remember this, I'll put it very simply, against the Second Amendment, right? If you're pro-life, you can forget about it. You know that, right? Tremendous support. I'll tell you what, did you see these people in California? They have lines of hundreds of miles of cars and tractors in Iowa and boats, 5,000 or 6,000 boats in lakes and oceans with the flags. And if you want your values to be respected, if you want to be treated with honor and dignity and respect, then I am asking for you to go out tomorrow or sooner, but I don't know, you tend to like to vote on Election Day, right? We all do. And vote. This is going to be the most important election, in my opinion, in the history of our country. I never thought I was going to say it. If you would have told me I was going to say that 4 years ago, I would have said, you're crazy. But it's the most important because I've always said, we will never be a socialist nation. And that's what they're trying to target. And remember what I said 4 years ago. I said, I am your voice, and we will make America great again. And that's what we're doing. And if we didn't get hit by the China plague, now we're building it up again, and we're doing it at record clip and record numbers and at a much faster pace than any other country in the world. But we got hit by the plague from China, and we will never forget it. With God as my witness, I will never let you down. For the last 4 years, the depraved swamp has tried everything to stop me because they know I don't answer to them, I answer to you. Together we will defeat the corrupt establishment. We will dethrone the failed political class, and we will drain the Washington swamp. And we will save the American dream. This election is also a choice between a deadly Biden lockdown. He wants to have you locked down. I don't even know if he knows. I mean, to be honest, they ask him a question. I don't think he has a clue. You can vote whoever you want, but I don't think he has a clue. You know it. The media knows it. The media laughs behind his back, and then they say, he did brilliantly today. No, he didn't do brilliantly. He can't do. He didn't do brilliantly in his prime. And he's not in his prime anymore. Or a safe vaccine that ends the pandemic, and we're doing very well with the vaccines. They'll be distributed very soon. We will mass distribute the vaccine in just a few short weeks. It will quickly eradicate the virus and wipe out the China plague once and for all. Joe Biden is promising to delay the vaccine and turn America into a prison state. Looking, again, that's more Kamala, you know? Remember when they said, this is the Harris-Biden administration, right? I never did that with Mike. And you know what? Mike Pence never came to me and said, do you mind if I put my name first every once in a while? No, because, and by the way, he's been a great vice president. Some people say it was a perfect combination. It was. He's a great guy. He's going to be in your state in a little while, locking you in your home while letting far-left rioters roam free. The Biden lockdown will mean no school, no graduations, no weddings, no Thanksgiving, no Easter, no Christmas, no 4th of July, and no future for America's youth. Other than that, it's fine. I think it's just fine. If you want a vaccine to kill the virus, a job to support your family, and freedom to live your life, then you go and cast your ballot for President Trump. And if you remember the catastrophe, Joe Biden, you know, he's telling us how to run things, right? This guy never ran a thing successfully. He said horrible things about him when he was in the administration. Obama didn't even want to endorse him. He wouldn't endorse him. Even after he won, Obama said, this is no way. How long did it take him after he won? It took forever. Obama couldn't believe it. I don't think Obama's much better. You want to know the truth? Joe Biden personally ran the swine flu, right? The swine flu. H1N1, which he can never remember. He never says it. He says it, you know, he goes N1H1. I said, no. He failed horribly, and he was a laughingstock all over Washington. They were laughing at him, and his own chief of staff said he was absolutely terrible. They did a terrible job. Now he's telling us how to do it. I should have closed earlier. There's only one problem. He's on record all over the place, knocking me 2.5 months later for closing too soon. And closing it all. He said, don't close. He's xenophobic. You know, xenophobic. I didn't like people from China is what he's saying. That's so wrong. I think they're incredible people. I do. I think they're incredible people. But he said xenophobic. And then he runs for office. He says he should have closed earlier. And you know what? The press never covers that. You can't get. The only time I get it covered is if I happen to be on live television. I'll say it again and again. And when I do say it, they try and turn it off. Let's go to a commercial break right now. I think I know what's coming. These are really bad people. Secretary of Defense Robert Gates said that Biden has been wrong on nearly every major foreign policy and national security issue over the past 4 decades. He had no respect for him whatsoever. I'm sure he endorsed him because he's probably looking for something like everybody else, but I don't think any of them are going to get anything because I think we're going to have one of the greatest victories tomorrow. But you don't have to take my word for what a disaster Joe Biden is, because it's the great state of North Carolina. I spent a fortune. See this? See the board? I spent a lot of money on the board. So let's just take a look at a little roll. Let's roll them, please.
Have you taken a cognitive
No, I haven't taken a test. Why the hell would I take a test? Come on, man. That's like saying before you got in this program, if you take a test where you're taking cocaine or not, what do you think, huh? Are you a junkie?
What do you?
By the way, this is my little sister, Valerie, and I'm Jill's husband. Oh, no, this is oh, you switched on me. This is my wife. This is my sister. They switched on me. But I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black. There is not a single solitary reason in the world why, as I said, we shouldn't be in a position that everybody, and that's my wife, Jill. Hey, Jilly, I'm Jill's husband, actually. And Corn Pop was a bad dude, and he ran a bunch of bad boys. And I did, yeah, and back in those days, you see how things have changed? Play the radio. Make sure the television, make sure you have the record player on at night, the phone. Make sure the kids hear words. We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by, you know the thing. Because if you could take care, if you were a quartermaster, you can sure in hell take care of running a, department store thing, where, and the second floor of the ladies' department, or whatever, you know what I mean? Well, I'm sick and tired of smart guys. The rapidly rising I don't know. You ever been to a caucus? No, you haven't. You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier. Why attack Sanders? Why? You're getting nervous, man. What kind of country we're going to be? 4 more years of George. He is going to find ourselves in a position where, if Trump gets elected, we're going to be in a different world. We have to come together. That's why I'm running. I'm running as a proud Democrat for the Senate. And by the way, I sit on the stand, and it get hot. I got hairy legs that turn blonde in the sun. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again. They'd look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap. And I've loved kids jumping on my lap. Barack and I think it's a right for people to have bad health care. I'll lead an effective strategy to mobilize true international effort to pressure.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it to yourselves. Our country has such potential. You can't do that to our country. He's not mentally equipped. He just isn't to be your president. He's not equipped to be your president. And I say it, I say it because he's not a nice person, never was a nice person, but he was never a smart person. He was a touchy-feely person, hale and hearty, but not nice. But this is not a man that 25 years ago was not equipped to be your president. And he ran many times, numerous times. We called him 1% Joe. Think of it. And now he's working on about 50%, and he ends up winning their nomination. Because of Elizabeth Warren. Elizabeth Warren gave him the nom. All she had to do is drop out. And he would have lost on then we would have had crazy Bernie, so, what the hell. But at least Bernie, they had a great energetic base. It's small base, but energetic. But this is not a man that should be your president. We have tremendous potential. Our country has tremendous potential. And we can't blow it. We can't blow it. Because there's no way to describe that. And that's like 1%. We could keep you out here all day. Much of it happened yesterday and the day before yesterday. Oh, he had some beauties yesterday. But we can't do this. And you know what's going to happen. Kamala will be put in that position very quickly. Very quickly. And she's more liberal than crazy Bernie. She's more liberal. In fact, she makes him look like a strict conservative. Joining us today are some incredible people, incredible friends and warriors. And I want to tell you, I just looked at a poll, and he's up in the poll Senator Tom Tillis. He's up. He's up. That's great, Tom. Good. I'm very happy with that. We got to get him in. He's a good man. Good man. And your wife was great the other night. We had good. We had a great rally the other night, and you were well represented, let me tell you. Very well. Congratulations. Well, let's save that for tomorrow or the next day. Or, as the Supreme Court would say, sometime into the future. What a ruling. What a ruling. What a horrible thing that they've done. Do you know that puts our country in danger? Do you know what can happen during that long period of time? Pennsylvania, the long period of time. Do you know what can happen? Number one, cheating can happen like you've never seen. This is their dream. And they are known for it, you know. The Philadelphia area is known for it. But what can happen during that long period of time is just a disgrace. Get your ballots in and have them in long before the 3rd. And have them counted before the 3rd, and have an election where we can say to the world that we know who won and we know who lost. What a horror. Our Supreme Court, I'm just so tired of some of these horrible political decisions that are being made. It's a shame. It's a shame. And, you know, I won't get into it too much, but I'm going to start getting into it because they're hurting our country very badly, very badly. Representative, warrior, David Rouser. David Rouser. David, thank you. You're doing a great job. Appreciate it. Congress, we have a friend over there, David. Richard Hudson. Where's Richard? Richard Hudson. Congressman, another great guy. Great guy. He's done a fantastic job, and a friend of mine, and somebody that's done an incredible job also in Congress, Dan Bishop. Thanks, Dan. Thank you, Dan. Doing a good job. He came in, through the system. He won a race that was a tough race, right? We worked together on it, and he had no choke in him. He started off a little behind, to put it nicely, and he ended up winning, and he won solid. And how are you doing on this one? Good? I don't have to help you as much. He's going to win. He's going to win. He should win. He's a great congressman, all of them, all three. Thank you very much, fellas. A man that hopefully you're going to recognize for, I guess he doesn't have the funds that the other one has. He is, I see commercials all the time for your governor that has you in a total lockdown. But Dan Forrest would be a phenomenal governor. A phenomenal governor. He would be. You could have a surprise, Dan. That could be a big, beautiful gift to North Carolina. Be a gift. That's not bad. Hey, Dan, that's not bad, huh? Beautiful. Hey, Dan, that's a very impressive applause you got, I have to be honest. Don't kid yourself. That is like a poll, It's like a poll. Except instead of interviewing 73 people, they have thousands of people here. Much more than the 2,000. He's got a nice 2,000 people. I don't think so. Well, last night in Miami, you want to see a crowd? You couldn't even see the end of it. I've never seen anything like it. There's such spirit. I've never seen spirit like this. And North Carolina GOP chair, somebody doing an incredible job if we win tomorrow. By the way, if we don't win tomorrow, they'll say, how's Michael Whatley doing? I'll say, not good at all. He didn't do a good job. Michael Whatley. Are we doing okay, Michael? Yes? Get out. Get out the vote, Mike. Get him out. Get out the vote. Thanks, Michael. You are doing a good job. I also want to recognize Medal of Honor recipient, Command Sergeant Major Bob Patterson. Where's Bob? Where's Bob? Where's Bob? Whoa, he looks good. He looks good. Wow. Your husband. Whoa, that's a good-looking couple. Wow. That's some incredible honor. That's some incredible honor, I'll tell you what. There is no greater honor. And are you proud of your husband? Yeah, but he's proud of you, too. Oh, she's proud of Trump. Look at that. Thank you. I knew I liked her. I knew I liked her. Thank you both very much. Great honor. That's the highest honor you can get. Former prisoner of war and Vietnam veteran, Captain Ken Wells, a real hero. Where's Ken? A real hero. Thank you. Thank you. Real tough one. Look at him. He's tough. He's a tough-looking guy. Thank you. Thank you very much. Beautiful. You look great. Thank you. These are great people. And World War II hero and D-Day veteran, very, very brave, they say, Harold Frank. Hi, Harold. You're looking good. Thank you, Harold. Thank you, Harold. Thank you. He said he's a brave one. Thank you, Harold. You're looking good. These guys look good. I don't know. They go through all that. They come out, they look better than all of us. I don't know. Something about the war. Something about brave people, right? Military spouse, and don't ever underestimate. That is where it all begins. Somebody who's incredible. Donna Dotson. Donna, where's Donna? Thank you, Donna. Thank you very much. Thank you, Donna. Great to have you. Thank you very much. And retired Sergeant Major Karen De La Vega. Karen, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Karen. They're great people. Thank you all for your extraordinary service, and it's an honor to have you with us. Really is. Thank you very much. For 47 years, Joe Biden viciously, repeatedly attacked Black Americans. He decimated the black middle class and called young black men super predators. To every black American, vote for Trump. This is your one and only chance to show Sleepy Joe Biden what you think of his decision to attack you, to insult you, to jail you, and to betray you. I am fighting for you and got criminal justice reform, prison reform, opportunity zones with Tim Scott, and funding for historically black colleges and universities. I got it done. Nobody else got it done. And with the exception of, and I use the word possibly, possible exception, but I could use it, or maybe I won't. I'll keep it a little bit less controversial. With the exception of Abraham Lincoln, there's been no president that's done more for the black community than Donald Trump. No president. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Under my leadership, we achieved the most secure border in U.S. history. Joe Biden has pledged to open borders. He's actually talking about taking down the wall. Can you believe it? Let's take down the wall. Let everybody pour into our country. He wants to take down, no, he said it, I don't know. Maybe, but he did say, let's take down the wall. One of the biggest projects that we've ever done. You know, it's a tremendous project. We're up to over 400 miles. We're going to be finished very soon. Over 400 miles. Exactly, designed to the specifications of the Border Patrol, who are great. Mass amnesty, wants to give them free health care. This is for illegal aliens, and wants to keep deadly sanctuary cities. Your state has a sanctuary city, you know that, right? You have a sanctuary city, right? A very big one, actually, that doesn't work very well. We believe our cities should be sanctuaries for law-abiding Americans, not criminal aliens. The Biden-Harris plan would increase refugees from terrorist nations by a staggering 700%. This has been agreed to. This has been agreed to. No, thank you, fellas. I'm not interested. I'm keeping radical Islamic terrorists the hell out of our country if I have your approval. If I have the approval of North Carolina, we'll keep them out. Right? We're going to keep them out. We invested $2.5 trillion in the U.S. military. We have the greatest equipment, greatest people. $2.5 trillion. You think that was easy to get from the Democrats? Actually, the wall was even tougher. The wall was tougher. We got it. Do you notice once I got the wall started, got all the funding, won all the court cases against the Democrats, the press never talks about it anymore. They don't talk about it. We had the best statistics, the best. And can you imagine during the pandemic, because, you know, Mexico's very heavily, unfortunately, infected. And it was a good thing that we had it up. That's why the numbers are so good. We also passed for our great vets VA choice and VA accountability. Nobody thought that could happen. We obliterated 100% of the ISIS caliphate. We killed the leader of ISIS, al-Baghdadi is dead. Last week, I visited Fort Bragg, where I presented the Presidential Unit Citation to the Special Forces team that achieved that historic victory. It was great. And we are keeping the name Fort Bragg. You do know that, right? You agree? They won cancel culture. You know, we won 2 world wars out of Fort Bragg, and we have other forts, and we're keeping it. We won 2 world wars out of Fort Bragg, and now they say, let's change the name. Let's change the name of Fort Bragg. We'll pick somebody else. Do you have any good suggestions? No. We have to keep. It's our culture. It's our heritage. So many victories out of Fort Bragg. We also eliminated the world's top terrorist. Soleimani is dead. I recognized the capital of Israel and opened the American embassy in Jerusalem. I also recognized Israeli sovereignty over the Golan Heights. 52 years they tried to get it. And instead of endless war in the Middle East, we're forging peace. They're lined up to come in. I said, how did Obama and all of those that came before him do it? They told me they all used the same method. I said, really? I'm going to go the opposite method, and it worked very nicely. No blood in the sand, no cost. 3 very powerful countries already signed. We have many others. They're standing on line. Standing in line. And we're bringing our troops back home. Our troops are coming back home. They're coming back home. 19 years is enough. They serve as policemen. I said, no, you have to get your own police department. I'm sorry. A vote for me and the Republican Party is a vote for the American dream. And in conclusion, over the next 4 years, we will make America into the manufacturing superpower of the world. And we will end our reliance on China, which has already started. Can you imagine Biden saying we're not going to end our reliance? I mean, can you imagine? We are going to end our reliance on you. Hey, we gave your son $1.5 billion. What the hell are you telling me? Okay, well, I don't know. Senator, I think it would be tough for him, right? No, they wanted $10 million. They wanted $10 million a year for his services, right? And then you say, no, I'm not going to deal with China anymore, or I'm going to be tough on China. You know, I've taken out many, many billions of dollars. We never did this in this country, not 10 cents. I gave $28 billion from China to our farmers because they targeted our farmers. $28 billion. And we had plenty of money left over, which went into the U.S. Treasury, thank you. We will hire more police, increase penalties for assaults or law enforcement, and we will ban deadly sanctuary cities. With God's help, we will defend the right to life, religious liberty, free speech, and the right to keep and bear arms. We will maintain America's unrivaled military might, and we will ensure peace through strength. You know, we're the envy of every country in the world. Our military now has the greatest equipment, all made in the USA, but we have the greatest equipment in the world. We will end surprise medical billing, require price transparency, and lower drug prices even more. We instituted a favored nations clause. We pay by far the most in the world. We are going to pay now the least in the world. And nobody can believe I did it. And the Big Pharma does not like me too much. They are not so happy with me. And we will always protect patients with pre-existing conditions. America will land the first woman on the moon, and the United States will be the first nation to land an astronaut on Mars. We will stop the radical indoctrination of our students and restore patriotic education to our schools. We will teach our children to love our country, honor our history, and always respect our great American flag. And we will live by the timeless words of our national motto, "In God we trust." For years, you had a president who apologized for America. Now you have a president who is standing up for America and standing up for the great people of North Carolina. I do. And your tobacco growers are in good shape, by the way. Please let them know, okay? You have any tobacco growers here, please? They're in good shape. They work hard. They were treated very rough. Tomorrow you have the power to do so much for our country. You have the power to vote. So go out and vote. Unless you're going to vote for somebody other than me, in which case, sit it out, don't worry. You ever hear these politicians get up and they say, you have the power to vote, and it makes no difference if you vote for me or my opponent. They're such liars, right? They're such liars. So get your friends, get your family, get your neighbors, get your co-workers, get your boss, grab him by the tie, say, let's go, boss. And get out and vote. From Greensboro to Charlotte, from Wilmington to Raleigh, from Asheville to right here in Fayetteville. Fayetteville. I love the name, Fayetteville. We inherit the legacy of American patriots who gave their blood, sweat, and tears to defend our country and to defend our freedom. We stand on the shoulders of American heroes who crossed the oceans, settled the continent, tamed the wilderness, laid down the railroads, raised up the great, great, beautiful skyscrapers, won 2 world wars, defeated fascism and communism, and made America into the single greatest nation in the history of the world, and the best is yet to come. You will see that. Proud citizens like you help build this country, and together we are taking back our country. We are returning power to you, the American people. With your help, your devotion, and your drive, we are going to keep on working. We are going to keep on fighting. We are going to keep on winning, winning, winning. We are one movement, one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God, and together with the incredible people of North Carolina, we have made America powerful again, military. We have made America wealthy again. We have made America strong again. We have made America proud again. We have made America safe again. and we will make America great again. Thank you, North Carolina. Thank you. Go out and vote.